Here's my new grip bag I just got for Christmas. I'm loving it so far, and this is my in the bag. First off, I have the Axiom Inspire. Really like this disc quite a bit. It's a great fairway driver for me. If you give it enough air, it actually will come back even at 162 grams. It's a great disc for hyzer flipping straight down the fairway or just airing it out like that. The next one up is the Axiom Crave. Even though this is 165 gram, it's a little bit of a puddle top, so it actually has quite a bit of fade to it. I know most people say that the Craves are just a straight disc, or they'll get like a nice S out of it. This one actually will hold quite a ways and then have a very predictable fade just about every time I throw it, unless I'm in a little bit of a headwind, and then it will turn. And then it just fades off a little bit. Not a big fade, but just enough. It's predictable. And then I have the Axiom Clash, the big brother of the Crave. This thing actually will get a little bit of a turn. Fights headwind really good, and still has that sharp fade at the end, like there. Really liking this disc quite a bit. I just added it back into my bag. Replaced my Volt, believe it or not. I know a lot of people like the Volt, but I'm really digging this Clash right now, and it's serving me well. Alright, the next disc I have coming up is another fairway. It is the most popular utility disc that I could ever imagine anybody should have in their bag. It's the MVP Resistor. This thing, I threw a little low right there. I left it in the video because it just shows this thing really does well with skipping. So if you have some canopy to shoot under, this thing will just skip into a dog leg big time. Or you can air it out a little bit like there. As I said, this is like a utility disc, so I'll use it a lot if I'm ever in trouble or in the woods. Like right here, I'm going to just flick a little anti-flex and just get right around all these trees for a nice little approach shot. Almost actually hit the basket. Or you can even, if you need to throw hyzer flares, so just a really low hyzer that's going to give you a little bit of a skip when you need to get out of the thick of things. This disc is just money all day. Just anybody should have this disc. I left this one in there. This is a hole 7 at my local course, Cass Benton. This is where I got my first ace. This wasn't an ace, but it skipped just like that. The ground's a little wet, but that was my first ace. This is the Axiom Virus. I love this disc. You can air it out like this with a little bit of ante on it, and that's typically how I will throw it. It just holds that ante line all the way to the ground. The Insanity. Love this disc. Even at 166 grams, I feel like I can get over top on this disc, turn it over quite a bit, or I can just throw it really flat like there and get just a little bit of a turn and then a gentle fade at the end. Very predictable fade, very predictable S out of it. I think I throw one more here. Yeah. Pretty much the same, almost the same flight. A little bit of a turn, a little bit of a fade, just right down the alley. And then the Orbital. This disc, I like to just pull out for fun. I don't get a lot of use on the courses that I play with it, but if you want to throw a nice roller, the ground was, it was raining, it was downpouring, and it still rolled quite a ways. I almost hit my basket, which is at 340 with it. Just tails off a little bit to the right there. But man, that thing rolls like crazy. It just flips no matter what. The MVP Wave. Yeah, this disc, it's similar to my Insanity, but I have to actually flip it. It gets me a little more distance. So I'll flip it, and it'll give that turn with just a little bit of lazy fade at the end. Super straight when I do that, and like I said, a little bit longer than my Insanity, so it serves a purpose. The other wave I have is 172 gram. Love the art of the Skullboy wave. This one, I actually left this one in because I threw it low and it turns right there. And I'm thinking, okay, it's going to turn and burn. But if you give it some air, like on this one here, it actually will turn and hold that turn for quite a ways, but then it'll have a lazy fade at the end. Right about there, starts coming back. So it's a really predictable disc in that sense. If you give yourself enough room to throw, it gives some big distance. This is the one I just added in my bag, 138 gram fission Photon, and this thing absolutely bombs. I put this on just a straight up hyzer. There was tailwind, so it didn't flip too good, but I threw it over the basket and just a straight hyzer. Like, you could just get some massive distance on this disc. And then the next one I have is pretty much the same thing, just a little bit heavier, but honestly it's just, these two are kind of interchangeable. It could be even a backup disc. This one will, I threw it kind of flat there, and it gives you a nice little turn. And then just a really good fade at the end. Just a really good, reliable disc. This next one I got a second ace last year with. Just a great reliable disc as well. It actually replaced my Wrath. I really enjoy my Wrath, but I just like the Photon. I mean, I got 4 of them in my bag, and I just love the feel of them. So when this one was flying similar to my Wrath, as you know, the lines kind of crossed over, so that came out and this stayed in. And especially since I got an ace with it, I don't know, it kind of maybe left it in because of that, but it's still a great disc. And then this next one I got is a MVP 173 Photon. This is my absolute meat hook in the bag. I know a lot of people throwing phases and everything like that, but for my arm, this weight, this thing just the whole way, like no matter what I do, I can't really turn this thing over. So it serves exactly what I need it for, just that big meat hook. My son's always got to get into the camera in the spotlight. Yeah, see, it just hooks. It just fights any kind of wind. And then this next disc is my Midrange, my Theory. I love these discs. They're got that lower profile. It just feels really good in the hand. I love flipping these things up, and it's got just such a smooth turn to it. It doesn't really turn and burn for me if you flip it. You can turn and burn it if you got a big headwind. Like right here, I just put it on a soft ante, and it holds it all the way to the ground, right through. Perfect placement. This one was a little bit of a headwind, so I had to massively flip it, and even so, it turned just right down the gut at the basket, and just parked it. Beautiful disc. Very next hole, I throw it again. Such a tight hole. Like, oh man, I could probably throw that thing 5 more times there and hit the trees 4 out of the 5 times. That's such a narrow gap to hit, but it works, man. You throw that thing flat with a little less power, it'll turn. This one, the Axiom Alias, I just picked this up. I had Proton, and I went with a neutron, and I think it actually holds the line a little bit longer, and actually will get a little bit of a turn to it. Very reliable disc, very straight, and get it kicked off the tree right there. It was headed right at the basket though. Then a little bit of field work with it. This one actually come over top just to show that it will fight back a little bit at the end. Just a nice little S down the fairway. And this one I actually had the wing down just a touch, just to show that it will pop up and just laser straight, just so straight. Love this disc. It will never leave my bag. Again, a low profile. The soft neutron proxy. This disc I use for similar to the Theory. If I need to throw an ante that's going to hold all the way to the ground, like on an approach. Not very. I don't think that went very far, but it just holds that line very nice. And then the Axiom Plasma Envy. Love these discs. This one is 174 gram It doesn't really show in the video, but it is a little more stable than I just threw it. I kind of came over top on that one a little bit more than I wanted to, but flies beautifully. And this next one's 166 gram, and I like throwing this one too, but I really enjoy putting with this one. This one will pop up and just hold straight. It's right down the middle, but yeah, like I said, I really enjoy putting with this one. It's got enough stability where I can get the wing up and it'll flex back and give me some extra glide and just sink some deep putts with. And this one is just, I love the Atom. It's got that low profile. It's just, it comes off the hand really smooth, I feel. That firm plastic, it just does so well in the snow. It doesn't seem like it loses its grittiness or its grippiness. No matter what I do with it, if I'm in the circle, I'm grabbing the Atom. If I need a straddle putt, if I need to do any kind of putting, it holds up really well with my putting style, I guess. I don't know. It probably doesn't fit everyone's needs, but I really enjoy it. And I've been putting with it for over last summer, so I've gotten really good with it. And then the Plasma Ion. This disc is just insane. It's so awesome. I love approaching with this disc. And a lot of people are probably eating up those electron ions, but I don't know if the pole.
Get away from there, bird.
I like this disc. It's just durable. It's also got a little bit of a puddle top. Not sure how that happened. I don't even remember if that's how it was when I received it, but I would never change my approach discs. I would probably do that and like maybe a little bit of an Envy if I need a little more fade, but these discs are just great. This one I just rip into. Nice and straight, kind of like the Alias as far as if you really get after it, but not nearly as far. But that's it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.